Thank you.
Boom.
Well, nice. Thank you. Thank you again for this opportunity, Warren. I want to get into something. You're a funny guy. I remember you from Reunion, Family Reunion. Yeah.
Yeah, man. No, yeah, Family Reunion's great. October 27th is when the new season comes out.
Nice, nice. And then this other movie you're about that's about to come out as well too. Dead of a Dollar. I hope I'm not messing. Okay, perfect. Got it. So
Dead for a dollar.
dollar. So with that being said, you are classically trained in both ways, as an actor and comedian, improv, all those things, right? Where did the love of it all come from, really?
I was when I first started out acting, I went to the American Academy of Dramatic Arts in 2010, January 2010. And from there, we were able to touch on a lot of different elements from movement to improv to comedy to drama and voice diction and so much more. So once I left that conservatory, I felt like I was able to focus in on a few other elements that I never really got to, seeing that there was so much of variety that you had to attend to. I really wanted to have a focus. So I went through first starting with script analysis by doing places like Tasha Smith and Ivana Chubuk of those studios. But then I wanted to kind of focus more so on camera work. Like how do you just present yourself on camera? So I went to another studio by the name of Marjorie Haber. And there she really saw how much of a, comedic actor I was and how that was really a strong suit and for me to double down on that. So that led me to go to the Groundlings Theater, where I began doing improv there. And when I tell you, bro, I don't know if you've ever taken an improv class, 100% do it. The individual rules of what it means to do improv or to be funny are just lessons of life, man. Saying yes and having eye contact, don't trying to force anything, just being present. All these things, could you believe, are rules? Hilarious on stage. So that I was there for about 7 years to then allow me to be a part of the company. And man, when I guess having this whole mixture of skills together, from groundlings to scene study, kind of this mesh of comedy and drama a little bit together, propelled me into Family Reunion, which then propelled me to the other show, Bigger. And here we are, Dead for a Dollar. Got the big movie coming out.
Nice. Yeah, definitely. Especially talking about Bigger, we just did it with maybe what was it, 4 issues ago with Chase. So yeah.
Say that again.
It was about 4 issues ago for us. It was our February issue.
Oh yeah. Oh, okay, great. Yeah, nice.
So nice.
Who did you do it?
What you call it with Chase? We did interviewed him.
Chase. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, nice. No, it's it's really cool because you remind me. We just did an interview with Catherine Luggett. She's a Black Canadian actress, and she's in all sci-fi, everything. And one thing is, and there's such a parallel because that's what she said when she started out, is to study the craft of the business of it. And so it's so funny because you don't hear many doing all these interviews. There's only certain ones who say like, I study every part of this business to be my best self. So I know why what did she say was, so I know why the writer wrote it this way. That's why she said script analysis. So I understood. And then she's like, when I looked at lighting and studied that thing, I understood why they wanted me to place here. She said that made me so cognitively aware, and then involuntary body responses just took over.
You just become, it's a new level. It really, man, the best way to put it, because I'm a fan of basketball, is just like high school basketball, and then there's varsity, and then there's like college, and then there's the NBA, and then there's all-star, and then there's the championship game. It is like, whoa, what? It just keeps getting, you know what I mean? Like there's so many different levels opposed to just saying lines and just and action, and you just start doing whatever the scene is. There's a whole lot of elements that I think a lot of people, no different than the players that they're dealing with in NBA games, that we don't even realize like how their minds are making sure of this going on, because we have to realize also that they have 10,000 people around them at the same time while they're like thinking of all this stuff. So I wouldn't say it's the exact same, but definitely in the ball field of entertainment.
When they say there's levels to it, this is when they mean
there are levels, my bro. Seriously, there are levels. Okay.
Oh man, where did the love of it really start? Like, everyone has their origin story, and maybe because I'm a Marvel's fan or whatnot, so I always say origin story. So I feel like a nerd or I say that. But when did you like look in the mirror and say, you know what, I know I'm going to be on this path?
Well, I always say that this was never my trajectory, for me personally. I always, was like, no, that could never happen. And I went off to Tennessee State University, got my marketing degree, and ended up working for the Des Moines Register in Des Moines, Iowa, at a newspaper job. And that was the last like kind of corporate setting that I was in. But, I can't really recall before I took the leap of faith to come to LA to pursue acting, but I always land on this like one moment.
Yeah.
This one moment. I'm got to be like 7 or 6 years old. Family Matters is definitely on, truly inspiring me. I'm watching it, seeing the reaction of what Jaleel White is doing on camera. He's a young Black boy, you know what I mean? Kind of showcasing what it's like to be in the South Side of Chicago, and he's making my family laugh. And I'm like, I could do that. I can do that. Well, how are you making them? I know them. They don't know you.
Yeah.
How you doing that? And bro, seeing that and seeing the commercial, always remember this. I wish I were an Oscar Mayer wiener. You remember that commercial?
Yeah.
Bro, I was like, this is it. I remember this when I was like younger. This is it. This is the lick. It was like, you could be the next Oscar Mayer wiener kid. Just write to this address and blah, 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 blah. So terms and conditions may apply, all that stuff, right? And I was like, I'm gonna write to this goddamn Oscar Mayer wiener. And I don't know how, I don't know what. I'm young. So I write this like bullshit ass letter. I put it up, I put Oscar Mayer wiener. I was like, Mom, take this to the Oscar Mayer wiener people. Like, send this to him. She was like, yeah. No, I'll send it. Like, no, seriously, I really want you to send it. Keep in mind, I'm a child. And bro, she said, yeah, she took it. And my mom, she's a doctor. I remember like weeks later, I was going through her office and I saw the motherfucking letter. I was like, oh my God, she lied to me. So that is what parents do. Okay, gotcha. No, but after that, honestly, no shade to my mom. She's a lovely woman, love her so much. But after that, I was just like, well, I guess it's not really possible. I guess it's just, let me just enjoy television, enjoy film, and just, go the traditional path. But, like I said, jump to 2009, where I just graduated college. There was this calling. I call it my Jesus in the wilderness moment, where I was in Des Moines, Iowa. And man, it's something about that 9 to 5 that just did not speak to me. And here it is. I just spent 4 years at this institution learning how to do the exact thing that I got the job for. It's 2009 too. It's a recession. Folks ain't got jobs, let alone a young Black boy who just graduated. Literally, I walked across the stage with an offer. This is great. I'm like the exception, and I hate it. I hate it so much. And so, I felt a little bit bad, but yeah, long story long, I just took a leap of faith in the middle of winter, and December 25th, 2009 is when I got to LA and began.
Nice. I love that. What was it, that leap of faith? I always like to make sure people talk the stories. Like, when publicists reach out to us, I'm like, hey, we could do PR and talk about the movie. But for me, it's really, and all my writers know that it's about getting to know who Warren is. You know what I mean? There's enough people where you get on your press junket where everybody's like, so how was it? And you're just like, okay, great movie, thank you. But like, who's the guy that's in the movie actually? Like, no one ever asked, like, who's like, do we even know Warren's zodiac sign? Like, can I get that information? To connect with you. What was it that lets you like just say, you know what, I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna be okay? Because a lot of times, people hear these stories, but they don't know what was the thing that lets you know it's going to be okay if it even still doesn't work out the way you knew.
Listen, I don't know how Black do you want to make this official Black magazine interview? Like, cause we
get real Black. We get real Black. Listen, I tell you, we get so Black where we had our launch event when we did Eamon Joseph's issue. One of the was like
Eamon, my boy. Okay.
Eamon. Yeah, this was the one with Chase in it. With we had Derek Blanks.
Okay.
Let me see. I'll find Chase's story.
Who's that on the front?
Derek Blanks, a celebrity photographer.
Yes.
Yeah, so this was Chase's too. So
look at Chase. Yeah. Nice.
So, when we design your 2-page spread and everything. So that's how the magazine looks and everything inside.
I love that. That looks wonderful.
Yeah, so we all do that. But to say how Black it gets, one of the guys was like, hey, I love what you're doing. I got this white girl, she got soul. I said, no, Jack Harlow. He said, so it's Black or nothing. I said, yeah, this isn't a hip hop station. I said,
you better let him know. We not
He
be,
he said, much respect. I said, even if you took it as disrespect, I don't care. This black on black on black.
Sorry, not sorry. Yeah, right.
Yeah. But yeah, we get real black.
But yeah, okay. So let's get black. Okay, so man, leap of faith. Wow. Where do I begin? So let's take it to Jesus. I used to go to Mount Zion. I used to go to church very often, Baptist church in Nashville, and I think I propelled me to when I felt like I was a little lost in Des Moines living. I'm calling my parents. They're like, "Oh, that's totally fine. It's totally okay to feel that way." Like, what the fuck? No. What, this is okay to feel this way? No, this is not cool. Like, yeah, you know, because my mom's from Mississippi, father from Jamaica, both came to America, somehow landed both of them in Chicago, to where they met and fell in love and had me. And yes, my life is very similar to Theo Huxtable. So for me to have this already projected traditional path is kind of making them super happy, having a degree safe route, you know. They're Taurus and Virgo. Ugh, such earth signs, right? Anyway, but I then was like, I'm lost. Friends not picking up from college. Frat brothers not picking up. Folks not hitting me up like how they used to.
Which frat are you in?
I'm an alpha.
I'm an alpha too. Spring 08.
You say what?
Spring 08.
Spring 08. Okay. Spring 08. Spring 07. Okay. That's totally close. I'm at Beta Omicron.
Oh, Pi Epsilon Jewel Club. Our line got taller gradually.
Epsilon. That's down there. Woo. What is that?
Out here in California and what you call it in Cal State San Bernardino.
Oh, nice, San Bernardino. Okay, cool. Yeah. Okay, bro, I see you. Okay, my bro. But yeah, man. Yeah. So I was like, people not picking up. So I decided to go to church. I started to go to church and I started meditating. I'm just asking the question, like, you know, what is it that I'm supposed to do with my life? Because I know for a fact that it's not this. And, you know, I would see little things. I made friends in Iowa and they said, hey, come on over, Warren, spruce up the place, make it fun because it's kind of boring. And I'm like, I remember driving there like, man, people get paid to do this, right? So, watching The Office, one of my favorite shows, right? And I would see the scene where Jim and Pam, like they were doing something. And then I would predict like, man, it'd be so funny if Jim and Pam like did blah, 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 or whatever it was. And then it would actually happen. I was like, oh my God. How did I know that? How did I know that was going to happen in TV? Like, I didn't write that. Like, how did I kind of predict that? That's so weird. And a lot of little other new things of, you know, people always saying that I'm extra and all this stuff. So I'm like, this energy is not just always criticized. It exists somewhere. Like, what is it? And I'll never forget. I was sitting at my office in Des Moines, and I was on Facebook, saw a post from my friend Deanna. It said, just got off a plane from LA. About to be a big time actress. Psych. Y'all know I could never do that. Ha 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 ha. And I remember that moment. I was in my chair. I was like, yes, you can. If you want to be, why would you even joke like that? If you want to be an actress, you can be an actress. It's not like, if I want to be an actor, I could be an actor. I'm not going to do that shit. But like, if I wanted to, it's like, but why wouldn't I do that shit? Like, but no, but I could. But no, why would I do that? But I could. And bro, I just got caught in this like web for the rest of the day. Like, I'm not gonna be an actor, but I'm gonna be a comedian. Like, yeah, no, forget about it. And then I would start doing work and be like, but I'm already funny though. I don't understand. Like, no, but like they don't make money. It's like, yeah, but like, how did Kevin Hart do it? Like, clearly Kevin Hart did it. It's like, yeah, but he's the exception. But it's like, but there's so many more.
Everybody's always the exception when there's like the exception.
Exactly. There's a ton of exceptions. So bro, I went down this rabbit hole. I just started researching random people. Denzel, Kevin Hart, Leonardo DiCaprio, Johnny Depp. I even researched Lucy Liu because I really wanted to know everybody's origin story. How did you get from point A to point B to where I know to Google you in a moment like this?
Yeah.
So, you know, one thing I noticed is that everybody had a different point. Everybody had their own different type of, you know, mechanism of what got them to their success. So I was like, you know what, if I'm gonna do acting, right? I'm not just gonna show up and be like, put me in a movie. I really want to learn how to truly do this. So I started researching classes, did research. What kept coming up was the American Academy. There was one in New York, there was one in LA. 5 auditions in New York. Didn't want to do any of them because I read this quote: if you want to do something you've never done, you got to go someplace you've never gone. So I took a leap of faith, went over to LA for the one audition that was left. Took a sick day, got on a plane, landed LAX, took a cab, bro. Goddamn cab was $79. I am so happy for Uber. Killing these motherfuckers for real. Sorry. But like that was one way. Had to pay it back. Two from like they was getting over on us, bro. But you know, needless to say, got in, stayed at the Motel 6 in Hollywood, did these 2 monologues, one from Julius Caesar, where it's like Brutus, his best friend, Julius Caesar's Brutus is this like, you know, Julius is like Shakespeare shit.
Yeah.
And then I also had to do The Dutchman, which is this play by this African-American playwright by the name of Leroy. Yikes, forgot his last name, but it's called The Dutchman. If you type in The Dutchman by Leroy, it's gonna come up for sure. And bro, it's this beautiful play. And it's so tragically painful, but it's about this white woman who has red lipstick, she's blonde, and she's wearing a red dress. And she's sitting on a train. And when a black man comes on the train after working from his corporate job or whatever, and she's just toying with him, she's like, hey, what's up? How's it going? He's like, I'm not interested. I'm good. Please don't talk to me. He's like, why? Why don't you want to talk to me? Why is your nose broad? Why are you like this? Like, what? Please just leave me alone. I'm done. I'm like, stop. And she's like, hey. And then the monologue is when he's like, enough. Do you not know what it's like to have the microaggressions of the black man and all this stuff? And you can do all this stuff, but I can't do anything. And he's just going in. And then, bro, this is how the play ends. She's like, oh my God, he's hurting me. And then the whole train of people contrive and they throw him off and he dies.
Oh, wow.
And then the play ends with another black man coming on and she's like, hey, how's it going on?
Oh,
I know. So I did that monologue. I was crying in it. Bro, it was like kind of the first time that an X-Men was using his X-Men power at the Xavier school or whatever. And I just felt weird. But anyway, I came back. And so I'm telling you this whole story. You already know how it goes. I kind of got here in December of 2009. But to speak on your question about faith, like just those actions of what I just walked you through. And when I got back to my desk Monday morning, I'm sitting there like, what the fuck did I just do? What did I just do? Like,
you had one of those moments like you got home and you don't remember driving home. Like you're like,
right. Like I was just in Los Angeles, California.
Yeah.
From working my like 9-to-5 job in Des Moines, Iowa. Like I just acted like, what was that?
Yeah.
And I don't know, you know, like they say in the Bible, it only takes a mustard seed. And you said a quote, because I was talking about this with my friend last night about Daniel 18. It's one of my favorites. It's either Daniel 3 or Daniel 18. It's in the Bible. It's one of my favorite verses. Oh, please. I know I'm being long-winded, but
go. I love all of this. No, they're great.
Okay,
it makes a great story.
We're about to change courses there. You know, it's about to be about the Bible. This verse, it is why the Bible is the Bible. We gonna keep it real. It's some bullshit in the Bible. I'll say it. It's some bullshit in the Bible. It's like, no, bro. No, I don't fuck with that at all. No. But then there's like nuggets like this that's like, whoa, this is a good ass book. Mm-hmm. Bro, Daniel 3, get this, right? Okay. So King Nebuchadnezzar, right? Have you heard the story about King Nebuchadnezzar? And he had these 3 main soldiers, like Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, right? And they were like, that's his boys. And they were like his defenders or as well, the guards or whatever. And so King Nebuchadnezzar, he built up this like kind of gold statue in the middle of the town. And when the sounds and the trumpets rang, you had to make sure that you bow down and praise this gold statue or whatever. So bing, 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 sound happens and everybody goes down, right? Well, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego is like, you know what, bro? I don't think we should be doing this because I understand what divinity and I understand who God is. And I don't know if we should be just praising him as an idol or whatever. And so, bro, I don't know how you've been feeling about this, but I don't want to bow down to it. And they were like, it's funny you say that because we've been feeling the same way. We're not going to bow down to it. Tomorrow when they shoot ring-a-ding, ding, ding, we're not going to bow down. Okay. Okay, cool. So here it comes. Next day, ring-a-ding, ding, ding. Everybody in the town, they all bow down. These 3 dudes are standing. Here's where the story gets crazy. It's always somebody running their mouth.
Yeah.
Because clearly somebody saw them not bowing and they ran to King Nebuchadnezzar. Yo, King Nebuchadnezzar, I just saw your boys, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, and you said they're your boys, but they didn't bow down and you're vouching for them. Like, that kind of looks fucking crazy, no? And he was like, bro, chill out. I'm gonna talk to him, bring him in here. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, they get in there. It's like, listen, guys. And then they're like in there like prison or whatever. It's just like, hey, don't rough them up. You can let them go. Guys, seems there is a miscommunication here. I don't know if you heard, but when I do the ring a ding 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 ding, that means everybody in this bitch falls down and they praise me. So I don't know if there's a miscommunication. He's like, no, there's no miscommunication. We just know that we serve a God who is for us, and we just know that you're not him. He was like, wow, that's the opposite of what the fuck I want to hear. Hey, Jerry, light that bitch up. And so he turns on the fucking furnace, right? The furnace is just blazing hot, blazing hot. It's blazing hot so much that a piece of the fire gets on one of the soldiers and he's fucking burning alive. Like he's burning alive, like, oh my God, because he turned it up too hot. And so King Nebuchadnezzar was like, get this motherfucker out of here. So King Nebuchadnezzar was like, listen, I'm gonna throw you bitches in here if you don't just adhere to what I'm telling you. Like, I need you to get this. And they're like, okay, cool, we get it. We understand that you want us to bow. Is that right? He's like, yes, that's all I want you to say. He's like, I know, we're not gonna do this. And I'm telling you this whole story for this one part, bro. It's the verse. It hits me so hard because you said it. It was like, I serve a God who will protect me when I go into that fire. If you choose to throw me in that fire, I'm getting chills. Here's the best part. But even if he doesn't protect me, even if he doesn't protect me, even if I do burn, even if I do fail, even if it doesn't work out, even if I take this leap of faith and I still fall flat on my face, I'm still going to serve God, because for me to get to this point and for me to move in the way that I'm moving is only because of God. There is no human way that all this is existing without me. So go ahead, do your thing. But I know, no different than I know my name, that God has always is going to have my back. And so King Nebuchadnezzar was like, oh, you're trying me. Hey, Jerry, throw these bitches in the fire. And he threw them in there. And bro, and this is when the pastor be going like this. This is what he be doing it. Because 3 went in, but he said, but King Nebuchadnezzar, I see 4. You know, that's when he started having to be after. But he said he saw 4. I see 4 in there, but 3 went in. Who is the 4? Holding and shielding them or whatever. He's like, what? There's 4 in there. Turn this bitch off. Turn it off. And he turns it off, and all 3 of the men are unscathed. And then King Nebuchadnezzar was like, oh shit, Jerry, make a memo, take that gold statue down. Take a memo. Apparently God is real and we need to be praising him. And then King Nebuchadnezzar, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego get promoted to higher guard or whatever. Yeah, they continue their lives. But bro, that even if he doesn't, even if he at this point, for whatever reason, with the movie coming out, that this is when the faith train ends, like I am in a level of gratitude to God alone. Yeah. To God alone, because as an actor, man, this is a lonely journey. Yeah. We're not at the office. We see all, some of the same faces in auditions. And it's even a weird dynamic there, because it's like, you see this person, this audition, and some people leave and some people, go home or whatever, but then you still see some of the same faces, but I've never gotten to know you, but I've been seeing you for like 6, 7, 8 years. So it's kind of like this weird dynamic of a tribe of lone wolves. Yeah. And yeah, man, at the end of the day, like it's all divinity. So, I could keep going on and on, but I love that. All my steps, all of them, even me talking to you right now, have been ordered. For sure. No, I love that. I think it's definitely one of those things, because people don't know what you guys go through, because, being from LA myself, and then, just having friends in the industry and whatnot. A friend of mine, she has the same story where she started writing. Her name is Ruth Washington Ferreira. She writes now for like BT Plus and different ones. She did like games people play and stuff. Or not write or executive produce. She did star. She does something. I never, there's so many levels and titles to things, but she had the same thing. She was working as like a CPA, and then she was at her desk one time, and she just was like, this ain't it. Her dad's a pastor. She said, I'm out. He said, come back home. You fine. Let's, get it together. So I think that's so important. But with you, you've had like, really good success, especially consistent success to a degree of, that others don't have usually. You can go through people's IMDb and then you'll see like someone was hitting one time and then you see the next one came, but yours is consistently there.
those times when you don't make it, or when you didn't land it, or when you got something but it wasn't what you wanted, what is it that kept you humble enough to say, you know what, though I didn't get that part I wanted, though this isn't the part I necessarily desired, I'm still where I need to be?
Mm-hmm. For me, like I said, it's just the journey. I'm in it for the journey. I'm in it for the story. There have been a lot of times where, man, even roles that you see today that are like, for real. But it's like, I know these people. I know them. Like, I've met them. I've interacted with them. Some of their families, like with like seeing Eamon Joseph, who dear friend Chase. It's like how I know me. I know me. And I know the words and the energy that I put out, I am responsible for. Man, I gotta do this interview. Man, why he asked me all these questions? They just don't get in my life. Oh, do you see that energy that I'm putting out? Yeah. Versus that I get to do this interview, and I'm so gracious that this man is here to learn about who I am in my life and my journey that has got me to this point. Those are two levels. Those are two different frequencies, bro. Talking about the same thing.
Yeah.
And so for me, I choose to celebrate the individuals that have not been celebrated. I have to, if you for whatever reason felt as though that I was not fit for the part, I know it's not because of my talent. I know it's not because of my skill.
It ain't me. I know it ain't me.
I know that. I went in there, all my auditions like it's flawless. And I see it because I know the only person that I'm really in competition with is truly me. Is like, you better not fuck up these words, Warren. Because I remember last time you flipped on that one word. You better this shit better be smooth. And I'm just talking to him like that. Egregiously. I don't care about that. Like, how can I control if I'm light skinned with like bouncy curly hair? Like, I can't. This is me.
I love that.
If you don't want mustard today, that's okay. Enjoy ketchup. But somebody gonna want mustard.
You're like this. You like the bad chicks in Vegas. You like, look, I know if I walk around enough, someone's gonna want this. You might want the light-skinned chicks at the tables, you might want the Puerto Ricans, but somebody gonna want this because somebody
gonna want this. And when you get it, you're gonna be like, where have you been? I was like, we're right here the whole time.
You was looking at the other thing. That's your fault. You should have been paying attention. Discernment.
But you're here now, and that's all we can say is thank you for. But for me, I just choose to give gratitude, man. I think through listening to Oprah and Deepak Chopra and Marianne Williamson and several other people, just reading books, the Alchemist and You Are a Badass, and so all those types of books like made me just obviously meditating and having my own type of practice and routine, making sure that I am just in a state of gratitude. That's all I care about. Because I feel like iconic people who we love, like Michelle Obama, or even recently with Viola Davis, seeing her in the press for the Woman King. I feel like hearing these women speak is for them to have such success is because they are in a level of gratitude that a lot of people are not.
Yeah,
they radiate in that space. You have to be thankful. You can choose to complain, and you have every right to complain. But if you want to elevate, you gotta appreciate.
Is that one you use? Do you do that all the time? Did you do that one on me on purpose?
I didn't even mean to do that.
Let me go look. I'm gonna have to Google it. Let me find out what you do at the end.
Yes, you gotta say that.
I got you.
I don't even remember what I said, bro. Yes, but it's the truth though. I truly believe that. Like, you can't be on and it all comes from you. My very first, like I talk about ADA, the American Academy of Dramatic Arts. My very first lesson, Harvey Solon, my very first acting teacher ever. His first lesson for my very first acting teacher ever. People problems are actor problems, and actor problems are people problems. If we can clearly see on stage that this character is not being vulnerable, and we really want you to go deeper, and for whatever reason you can't understand why you can't go deeper with this character and you're not giving us what we want, it's probably because you're not being vulnerable in your own life. It's probably because there's an element of stuckness that you are not dealing head on with, So I when I heard that, I was like, say less. Oh, yeah. I'm gonna better myself because I want to get nitty gritty with these characters, no different than Sergeant Alonzo Poe with Dead for a Dollar, like making sure that, I'm in 1897, I get to depict what it's like to be a Black man in 1897, and I'm not like, yes, sir, I sure will, sweeps up your cotton. Like, no, I have a motherfucking gun, nigga. Yeah. Like, I'm sorry.
Oh no, you good. We good.
And we're not playing. This is a moment of power. And, for Walter Hill to not only write that type of character, but also put it on me, it's just like, say less. This is a manifestation in its finest degree. Let's get it. Yeah.
Nice. I love that. I got 8 minutes left for the
Oh yeah,
recording.
yeah. Okay.
The Zoom. No, we fine. I'll be talking to this. They always reminds me. How has something there's a lot of great actors and people that come from like Chicago, Memphis that we don't think about. Most people always think about LA, Atlanta, or whatnot. But there's something that shapes, and especially the actors and actresses from those, like from that Midwest thing. What do you think it is that was about being from Chicago that shaped you just as a Black man, as an actor, just or as even a human being?
Man, when I hear those places of Chicago and Memphis, I can't help but think about just the down to earth element that is in those spaces. Man, roots, real roots. Like you are grounded, and sometimes to a certain degree, a little bit too grounded for a very long period of time to where people get comfortable. But there's a certain love that just exists there that is like, it's not attached to money. It's not attached to who you are. It's not attached to how much money you got in your bank account. It's simply because it's just you.
Yeah.
That I want to be a part of your village because it's you. I want you to be okay just because it's you. And we, as a people in Memphis and in Chicago and the mid South and the Midwest and the South, we understand what it is to build a community together and just be okay with that. Not because you can help me over here, not because you can advance me over here. No, because it's you, and you are a part of this community, period.
It's crazy. Midwest, you guys all have these values. I have a good girlfriend of mine. She's a Delta, and she's from Ohio. And it's just there's a very business aspect, there's a community aspect, but then there's also don't try me aspect. I think I always tell people the one thing I love I love Lisa Ray. And when she tells that story about when she was on Single Ladies and she talks about her time with Stacey Dash, and she says this one story, she's like, all of the South side of Chicago was about to come out of me one time, and I had to stop myself. But everybody from Chicago, I know they always say, please don't make me bring this out. Please don't. It's like, you guys are all comical, but they be like,
you hear all these, it's like, it's one of those things like Chirac, the Shy, done, chitty chitty bang bang. Here, let's poke the bear. Let's see if it's like why?
And then when the bear show up, then y'all want to scream.
And it's like, see, I told you. It's like, why? See, that's
like, why do people want to see how far Warren it takes to get him to go crazy? You'd be like, why do you want to try me? I'm not a science experiment.
Okay, all right. Bask in the love. Let's just bask in the love. Let's just, let's have a good time. And I really feel the South Side and every element of Memphis really just like, can we just chill? Can we just chill out?
Yeah.
Even like Chicago stepping. I know you've been.
Yeah, I know the Chicago City. Yeah, except we can't play R. Kelly because they go cancel us. You can't look. They'll cancel you real fast. You can't even put it on a reel or something. They'll get you.
You know what? I heard R. Kelly found his way on TikTok. I heard he found a way.
Yeah, the people are going crazy. And I'm like,
he's the Pied Piper for real. He gonna find a way. He gonna find a way.
He gonna find a way to the homes of the young ones.
I know. Oh my God, this is crazy. He's really
good. Exactly. Oh man, this would be great. What's something that what would you have wished that you would have known? You were very spiritually grounded. You already had your path step, like set for you just from a spiritual part. This is going to really be kind of like his talk with God type of story. My thing is like, yours, I already feel like it's going to be like a memoirs of like, spirituality. Yeah. But for you, what's something you wish you would have, like someone would have told you early on? Like, is there anything you wish that someone would have given you like some advice early on that you would have been open to?
Yes. These prices. Tell me, let me know. So many times, like when we see Will Smith, Denzel, and even now recently Damson, Idris and Daniel, all these people, all these great Black men. I'm specifically talking about Black men from my perspective. Like, hey, bro, tell me how much this stuff costs. You see where I'm headed. You see what the vibe is. Hey, we should. I feel like I would have just loved, honestly, if I can speak to let me say this. This is what I would say. This is what I would say to my younger self. As much as you love acting, as much as you are passionate about this craft, as much as you feel the aliveness and freedom on stage and on camera, you must learn how to write. You have to find a way to communicate all these different characters that you're able to convey and all these different, lives that you're able to take on you have to be able to write that and convey that, because your vision and your voice does matter, not just from their lens and not just from their words, but yours as well. And the moment that you can, for whatever reason, right now, where we are in this point in history, to do so needs to be done in a script format for people to read it, take it seriously, and green light it to do whatever. So when you can master down the skill along with acting of writing, television, film, whatever the case may be, you're gonna be set up for way larger success. I mean, look at Issa Rae, look at Quinta Brunson, look at so many, Rachel Bloom, and so many more dynamic women and men who found that calling of like, oh, I need to write this myself. Oh, and then here's the thing. Here's number two. Here's number two. I got a lot of gems, but I'll just give you two. Writing and no. Do we just want to be an actor? Okay, cool. Or do we want to be a comedic actor that's on primetime television on Wednesday nights, specifically on NBC? Because those are two different things. Do you want to just be on TV, or do I want to make sure that I'm an executive producer for a Bravo show that is set in Memphis, Tennessee? Being specific, being very narrowed in on where you want to go, I think is very helpful. So learn how to write, being specific, and most of all, be grateful.
Oh, I love that. That's actually really cool. That's really nice. Now that's all I need for that. I can